Long Island weather report. This is the Long Island weather report, and we have some good news with rain on the way that we're going to finally get. And you can see some big storm systems here. One well over here off the Pacific coast. That looks pretty intense. And then we have another one that's over here. So if we look at the weather map here, you'll see this is going to tap into some moisture and finally put a dent in this drought and put an end to the wildfire danger that we've been dealing with every single damn day for a while now that we're all tired of. So let's go look at some of the current observations right now. And you can see also winter storm warnings and even some high wind warnings in effect for some areas in the Midwest as well as the Northwest. They're going to be getting some snow, winter storm warnings in there as well. So, oh no, we don't want to see any more of those. That's for Nevada, a red flag warning. But these are all blizzard warnings here. They're going to get a pretty significant winter storm. So we're finally seeing some more action when it comes to the weather across the country. Again, I kind of want to look at that storm in the Northwest here. That looks really impressive. Look at this thing. Wow, actually, that's not going to show it. This one should show it. Yeah, look at that. Look at the rotation on that thing. That's incredible. What a storm that is. I mean, that's really something. It's actually, you could probably do southeast Alaska. I mean, that would kind of show the storm. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, there you can sort of see it there. Almost looks like it's got an eye to it. So this is a pretty big storm here. So that's the kind of energy that we have in the atmosphere. But anyway, let's getting over to our weather today. Fortunately, not as ridiculously warm as yesterday, though. It was a little breezy in the morning. The winds have kind of died down now. 48 at Islip. Still got dry air in place, 2.35. But this morning we had a pretty decent north-northwest breeze. And it was definitely in the 50s, so it was cooler today. A lot cooler today than yesterday. Not as ridiculously warm as it's been. Gale watch in effect for the southern part of the Jersey Shore as well. So let's go look at the highs for today. And of course, we're still having this issue where I kind of have to zoom in a little bit to display them. Yeah, they don't want to load. Well, while we're waiting for them to load, all right, come on. There we go. 61, so it did manage to hit the around 60, low 60s across Long Island. 9. Let's see, Jersey. Let's see what they got up to. Yeah, pretty uniform temperatures across the area. A little bit warmer there with low 60s, but generally speaking, let's look at the lows now. We're having this issue with the lows here. Let's see if they had any radiational cooling overnight. 34 in the Pine Barrens, so it does not look like we had as much radiational cooling last night. 37 at West Hampton, mid-40s elsewhere. So there was some, but not as much. And right now, tonight, West Hampton's down to 39. So not going to see as much radiational cooling because of the cloud cover that we have moving in. As you saw in the satellite, we'll take another look at the satellite image here. In a moment. Let's look at the satellite image here, and you'll see the clouds that are increasing as this first little wave comes in. But this isn't the wave. This is 2 waves, all right? Today we had a pretty decent, actually. We had some mid-level cirrus and mid-level clouds to start, and then by early afternoon, we were mostly sunny. And I have a little video from the Pine Barrens. I was not expecting to be in the Pine Barrens today at all. But I figured I'd take advantage of it because it was mostly sunny for a time. So let's go look at the radar because we do have some things on it. Some precipitation on the radar. There are a few light showers. These are probably not reaching the ground over New Jersey. You can see some more substantial rain over Pennsylvania. But this is not the rain that we're watching for tomorrow night. This is if we go back to the weather map, you can see this is associated with a warm front. All right, this second system is gonna come in, and that's what's gonna bring us the decent amount of rain. So let's go look at the actually before I go to the models, let's go to our climate statistics for today. High of 60 and a low of 44 at Islip, still 8 degrees above normal for the day. And then here's the radar again. You can see some showers. These might be reaching the ground actually. I'm kind of curious if they are. So I'm going to go back to the weather and hazards map here in a moment. Let's do that. Let's go back to the weather and hazards map. Let's see if anyone is reporting any light rain. Let's see. Newark? No. Yes, light rain. So there is some light rain, but it's not. It's just going to be a little bit. The real event comes tomorrow night, especially into Thursday. So let's go look at the models here and again go over what is going to be happening here. We'll actually first start with the. I usually don't show the upper air, but I'm going to show it to you because we kind of show you here the vigorous trough that we have that's going to come diving down. You look at that vigorous trough and it kind of cuts off over us, and that's going to be able to form a low pressure system. It's going to move slowly so we can get a decent amount of rain out of it. All right, so there's an agreement on that. That's the GFS. This is the Euro, looking fairly similar, but that is a deep low that's going to form right over us. So finally, we get our rain, and there may even be some snow. So it's going to be a pretty decent storm. So let's go look at the surface here, and you'll see what I mean. So backing this up, you can see that first wave of rain. That kind of breaks up as it hits the ridge. But it's the second, this like occluding front or whatever, with a low, and then we have a primary low in the Great Lakes, and then a secondary low develops very close to our area and kind of sits on top of us. So even though we get the majority of the heaviest rain in the first half of Thursday, there still may be rain chances through probably Saturday morning for some more precipitation. So this is all very good to see. Let's go look at the European. This is the European. The European's even more robust with the rain, really heavy rain, pours, maybe even some thunderstorms. The European keeps the rain going pretty much most of the day Thursday, and then kind of redevelops it on Friday night with another area of light rain that may even mix with snow. So, yeah, it's going to get... This is so needed, and I'm so happy because it can finally it's going to put a dent in the drought, but it's going to put an end to the fire danger that we've been dealing with. And obviously, I'm somebody who likes to go to the hiking, and seeing how dry it is really makes me worried. It's stressing the trees too. The trees are stressed, and that's not good. So they really need rain. Even the pines, which are very hardy, but even they need rain. All plants need water. That's the bottom line. Every living creature on this planet needs water. So let's go to let's look at the European. I'm going to keep this on this because this is impressive. So this is the European here, and you can see that heavy rain comes in, and it yellows, and it kind of just sits over us Thursday. See that low sitting over us, and get a little bit of a break, and then we get a little more of a wave on Friday. So this is the high-end total, but the Euro's, I think, going to give us close to 2 inches, I think. Yeah, 1.5 to close to 2 inches of rain. Very much needs. Some areas might even pick up more rain than that, which is impressive. And some areas also, not in our area, but some areas could get snowfall too. Let's get the GFS as well. Also similar. So the GFS looking like the European now, which is good. Because I was so happy when I saw the European. I'm like, I hope the European is right. This is the GFS, and a similar look. Here comes this front. So that low is just going to develop right along the front, keep the rain going. Yeah, there could be some flakes mixing in up to the north and the west, and we even see a flake or two mixing in. But we're going to have the rain chances right through early Saturday, and then things improve as we get, especially into Sunday. But this is going to be a much-needed rain, and really, really important. So let's go to some of the more short-range models here. And actually, before we can go that, let's look at the F-Gen here, which is another kind of indication of the precipitation. You look at that. That is so nice. So that is definitely very good to see. So let's go to the HRRR, which we can't use F-Gen on, but obviously we have a little bit of light rain overnight tonight. It's not really going to amount to all that much. The main event is tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, here it comes. Here comes this. There could even be showers, thunderstorms with this embedded in this heavy rain. This is the HRRR. Not looking as impressive as the other models, but it has some heavy rain, and then it kind of dissipates into showers. But we still have the rain chances. This is through Thursday night. So 8RRR does not look nearly as wet. But hopefully that is going to change. All right. Total accumulated precip on this, not nearly as impressive. It still is close to an inch most areas, but this is like the low end. So even the low end is a decent soaking, which is important. We're going to look at the dew points and wind flow as well on this model as well. So tonight, obviously, we've got the light north winds. We have an easterly wind tomorrow to start. Still have the dry air in place. It's not really going to get humid here. The humidity doesn't really make it up to the surface. It's going to try, but what's going on is you have all this humid air off to the south that's being pinched off. And when that pinches off, that's going to create a lot of lift, and it's going to dump its moisture on top of us, and we're going to get some rain out of it. So it's kind of like wringing a sponge almost. So it's really in the perfect place for us to really get some really much needed rain. Temperatures tonight probably not going to drop off all that much. Tomorrow we're going to be again cooler, 50s probably, maybe 60 in New Jersey, and then it kind of stays mild through the night because of the cloud cover and maybe some of that warm air advection with that low developing on top of us. And then Thursday we're only in the 40s. I'm only in maybe the low to mid 50s. And then behind that, it gets even colder. Like if I were to look at the GFS, you'll see the temperatures will drop. GFS has temperatures only basically struggling in the mid to upper 40s on Friday. It's going to be blustery. And then same thing for Saturday. So we're going to have some more typical November weather. Cold, windy. That kind of weather is supposed to be what you're supposed to have in November. Not warm and windy, but cold and windy. And kind of damp. You usually have those sprinkles or snow flurries that we might see. So let's go look at the NAM next. Don't have enough of the 0Z NAM, and so we have to go back to the 18Z. And we're going to go look at the FGen on this as well, just to show you. Look at that. That is a nice. You can see the guy pinched right over us. It's really nice to see that. So let's go look at the precipitation here. Obviously, nothing tomorrow, but it is when we get into tomorrow night. Rain moves in probably after 10, 11 o'clock. First it's light, and then we get a nice heavy batch of rain, maybe even some showers and thunderstorms in the overnight wee hours in the morning. And that's going to linger into the rush hour. And then we have the low that's going to kind of sit over us and bring us some lighter showers. But it will stay wet most of the day. And so it'll give the rain a time to really soak in and really alleviate how dry things have been in the ground. So let's go look at the total accumulated precip on the NAM. Similar look here as well. So it really looks like a good soaking, and we're going to have some more models to look at, obviously, come tomorrow night. But it definitely is looking a lot better than what we have been seeing. And the RGEM, also, we'll go to the RGEM just for the skies, just to give you an idea. This is the RGEM, all right? So you can see RGEM also giving us some areas decent amount, especially right over where that Jennings Creek wildfire is. So looking at clouds tonight, we have we're kind of battling some clouds. Tomorrow, it tries to actually push the clouds away for a time over Long Island, so we may still see a decent amount of sunshine, at least for a period. Then more clouds come in, and then obviously we're going to be dealing with plenty of clouds with this low here kind of sitting here. And look what it does there. It almost forms a eye to it. So this is going to be a pretty interesting storm to see. I don't know if the GFS doesn't do that. That's just an RGEM thing at this point. But there will be plenty of clouds around once we get toward the weekend, which I'm not going to talk about the weekend right now. I'm mainly focused on this rain event. So let's look at a few other models here. We have the HDRPS. Let's look at this one. Yeah, look at that. It looks really nice. Unfortunately, we don't have the latest. Doesn't go far enough out, but look at that heavy rain that develops. That's some showers and thunderstorms. That's a soaker right there. That's a real soaker. So, because when you have a pinch off like that, it can really yield some impressive rainfalls. So, there's going to might even be some flash flooding in some areas, perhaps, if we get heavy enough rain. We don't want the rain too heavy. We want it steady. We want it to last a long time so it can soak into the ground. We don't want it just running off. That may wind up happening. That's what happens out west a lot of the time. But we'll have to see as we look into more, look at more of these models and see what we have. But definitely rain is going to be in the forecast for a while. Here's the icon, by the way. So here's the icon. All right, so you can see the icon there, and that is going to, again, 1 to 2 inches of rain is looking more and more likely across our area, and this is much welcome news. Finally, a dent in this drought and a change in the pattern to a colder, wetter one instead of the warmer, drier one we've been dealing with for the past almost 2 months. So definitely an improvement and a more typical, normal type of weather pattern for later November. So I think that'll wrap things up. We'll talk more about the storm tomorrow night. And get ready for finally just one more day we got to get through. Unfortunately, there were a few more wildfires today. I think they were relatively small. We still have the other 2 in New Jersey. There's 2 in New Jersey, actually. If we go to New Jersey Forest Fire Service, let's just go to their Twitter here. We're just going to look at their Twitter for a moment, just get their latest updates. Nope, that's the EP. This is right here. So let's go to their latest update. So there's several wildfires burning over there. Let's see what we got here. Big Rusty wildfire, Hainesport in Burlington County, 40 acres at 75% contained. So they're making substantial progress. We have light winds, which is good. Country Club wildfire in Lakewood. They've kept it to 35 acres at 75% contained. So they're getting containment on that, too. I know there was some small wildfires on Long Island today that I heard. I don't know if the media is talking about it. They're not. So, of course, South Shore 12, not talking about it. But there were a few smaller wildfires, I think, today as well on Long Island. And I know there was a few smaller ones in the city as well. But one more day, and we're going to be done with all these wildfires, done with these red flag warnings, done with this fire weather. And finally, we'll be able to, the parched earth will be able to finally get that big drink that it needs. So, thank you for watching, and have a good night.